Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for another OPTC video, and in today's video, we have some new level limit breaks that we're going to be discussing in today's video. We have a level limit break for the Admirals of V2 Fuji, V1 Akainu, V1 Kuzan, and V1 Kizaru. And then we've also got V1 Law tucked in there. Now, if you guys read the manga, no spoilers in chat. However, this is pretty fitting for what's going on actually in the manga right now with a particular green suspect. So I'm pretty excited to see what these characters actually do. I do have my coffee, so we're diving in. And I might get a little bit more switched on as we go. But if you guys are watching this video over on YouTube, link in the description. We're going to be live over on twitch.tv/StumpD Gacha. Got a huge stream planned for today, so come over, say hello, have some fun, play some Dokkan, play some OPTC, play some Pokemon. It's going to be a ball. Make sure to come over. But if you enjoyed the video, belt the like button. If you're new, hit that big red subscribe button. In the comment section, let me know what you think of these characters. If you like them, if you don't like them, if you think they should be better, if you think they should be not worse, but like a lot better, I guess. But yeah, with that said, let's check out the new characters. Alright, so as always, huge shout out to the Discord for the images provided and the information. Link is in the description. As always, make sure to come on over and check out the Discord. Everyone's welcome. A lot of really cool people over there, a lot of really cool, like-minded people. And a lot of people that can give you help if you're a newer player. So, the first character we're going to talk about is Mr. Trafalgar D. Water Law, V1, the Psi 6+ Law. All of these characters have 6+s. All of them have level limit breaks as well as limit break expansions. So, what does Law do? He boosts slashes and free spirit characters' attack by 4.5 and their attack by up to 5 times after landing 3 perfects in a row. 5.25 if you hit 5 perfects, and heals 1000 at the end of turn. Now, this is without limit break expansion. With limit break expansion, the 4.5 becomes 5, the 5 becomes 5.25, and then he just doesn't even worry about the 5 perfects thing. So, it's a little bit nicer in terms of getting the multipliers quicker. However, you can still get the 5.25 without limit break expansion. I wouldn't recommend limit break expanding this guy. His special allows you to bypass enemies' defensive effects for 1 turn, applies increased damage to all enemies by 1.5. That's a nice little touch. I like that. Deals 200 times his attack inside damage to 1 enemy and reduces cruise cooldown by 1 turn. Now, this law actually has a pretty low cooldown. So you actually could use this on a team now, which is actually really, really cool. I think that he has... Does he have a character that can reduce cooldown on himself? I don't think he has the... I don't think he has the ability to reverse his special as a sailor. I'll have to triple check that. But, yeah, that could be really good for a final stage now. Because getting that extra 1.5, whilst it's not a huge amount of damage, it's a nice little addition. Especially if you need to bypass stuff like barriers and whatnot. So, this guy could see play now. And I could definitely see myself using this guy. However, he does have to compete with his other counterpart that is... Super type law. But if you're missing super type law, this guy definitely is an option. This guy doesn't have the ability to reverse cooldown, so that's kind of annoying there. But like, if you found a support or something like that could work on him, you could definitely use that. He has the same sailors, and his rumble seems to have changed a little bit. He now does damage over time for 40 seconds, defense down level 6, and does 3000 damage to enemies in a small range. On a 30 turn cooldown though, it's kind of dookie. He boosts free spirit and slashes HP by level 7, and if there are 70 seconds less, he applies level 4 recovery. So, he doesn't seem all that amazing in Rumble, but look, I don't really think you'll ever really be using this guy in Rumble per se. The next character we're going to talk about is Mr. V2 Fujitora, the Slasher Captain Fuji. Now, Fuji has actually quickly become my favorite Admiral. I really like his standpoints. I really like what he stands for. I love that scene where he says that he wished he didn't cut his eyes so he could see Luffy. I think that's so wholesome. And, yeah, Fuji, with Kuzan, is up there probably as my favorite Admiral. Kizaru, I just love Kizaru. But I wouldn't say he's my favorite. I just love him. And Akainu, I love to hate Akainu. I think Akainu is one of the best written antagonists. Him and Blackbeard, just absolutely insane. But Fuji, let's see what you can do, my man. No limit break expansion. Reduces own cooldown by 2 turns at the start of the fight. But furthermore, reduces cruise cooldown by 2 at the start of the quest. So does that mean he gives himself 4 turns? Oh, hang on. That's not Fuji. This is Kizaru. Hang on, hold up. Where's Fuji? Fuji must be down the bottom here. Okay, Fuji's down the bottom here. For some reason, Fuji's just been, like, slapped down the bottom. Give me 1 second. Let's just go like this. Okay, let's take a look at Fuji. So Fuji boosts slasher characters' attack by 4.5, HP by 1.2, and boosts their attack by 5.25 after hitting in the good, great, perfect. Shout out to those guys without breaking the chain. If you have your Limit Break expanded for whatever reason, 4.75 instead of 4.5. HP by 1.5, that's a huge jump. And then up to 5.5 if you hit Good, Great, Perfect. Again, I don't recommend Limit Break expanding this character for this, but that is a much bigger improvement than what his actual Limit Break, like regular Limit Break Plus is. 5.5 is monstrous. However, you do lose chain here. Like this becomes an issue because you can't get to the high chain multipliers that you would actually want to get to with this unit. However, he does counteract that, and he has always counteracted that with a chain lock with his special. So, let's see if his special got an upgrade. 50 times his attack and non-type damage to all enemies for 10 times. Pretty standard. Changes slasher characters' orbs, including block orbs now. That is a huge buff. That is massive. He needed that so bad. Locks slots as well. Oh my god. Delays enemies for 2 turns, and then does a 3.5 times chain lock for 3 turns. Okay. Fuji's special got a huge buff. This is massive. The 3-turn chain lock is huge because that allows you to get this 5.5 times captain if you have your Limit Break, level Limit Break and Limit Break expanded, of course. It allows you to get that for 2 turns. Maybe 3 if you need to burst for 3 turns for whatever reason, because you can delay as well. But this right here, changing slasher characters' orbs into block orbs and then locking them is very, very good. Fuji always rotated orbs, but he didn't do block orbs, so this is massive. Slashers do struggle for getting around block orbs, besides like Roger and his super typing. There's not too many characters that can actually help out slashers in that regard. Now, Fuji actually become kind of viable. Chain locks, whilst they're not as good as chain boundaries, have sort of crept back into the meta a little bit because of the attack down, debuff under, or above a certain chain multiplier. So 3.5 is very good. I don't think it needs to be higher. I don't think it needs to be less because you will be using this in niche sort of situations. It provides enough damage to get around most pieces of content. And 3 turns is very, very good. So I'm pretty happy with what they did with Fuji. I think he got a very, very good buff to his special. And I think that's what he needed the most, because you don't ever really run this guy as a captain, if I'm honest. Hitting good, greats, and perfects, again, shout out to those guys. But hitting good, greats, and perfects is a little bit annoying and is not really something that you want to be doing as a player. Because it's just finicky. Like, it's just annoying to do. It's like why no one runs Log Luffy anymore. Like, it's just annoying. So, shout out to Fuji. I think he special got a pretty big buff. And compared to, like, honestly, I really like Law's buff as well. These buffs have been really good so far. So, let's take a look at the Madman, Mr. Not Vegapunk, the Admiral of Light, Kizaru. Like I said, I love Kizaru. I think his character he's just crazy. He's quirky. He's fun. And his Devil Fruit is just so freaking powerful, man. Like, so powerful. So let's check out what he does. With Limit Break Plus, he boosts... where is he? Boosts his own cooldown by 2 turns at the start of the quest. And... where are we? Here we go. Furthermore, reduces the crew's cooldown by 2 turns at the start of the quest. Does that mean he gives himself 4 turns? Does he get 4 turns of cooldowns at the start of the fight? That's pretty interesting. Boosts crew's attack by 4.25, so Rainbow. Recovery by 1.35. Makes... Psi slots beneficial and boosts their attack by 4.75 whenever you use his special in the turn. Now, if you guys don't know, this guy's special goes down to like 3 turns. Like, it's absolutely insane. He, like, is going to start with his special every single time, and getting that 4.75 is not hard to do, because if you run 2 of them, you can actually have that ability locked in. It doesn't have to be his special. It can be any of them. Now, on turn 1, as I mentioned, you're probably getting like 4 turns of cooldown. And he starts on a 6-turn cooldown. So, pretty nutty what this man can do in terms of like just starting with his special. With Limit Break expansion, if for whatever reason you have this guy Limit Break expanded, maybe you did it for Rumble. He reduces his own cooldown by 2 turns. Furthermore, the crew by 2 turns. 4.5 Rainbow. Still 1.35 Recovery. And then Psi Orbs beneficial and goes up to 5 times when you use the Yasakani. I can't say it. Yasakani Sacred Jewel Divine Light. When you use that, you have a 5 times captain. So that's pretty good. Nothing too crazy, and I definitely wouldn't Limit Break expand this unit for that, because he has kind of dropped off in Rumble, but I don't know, maybe you did it when slashers were just like dominating the meta for like that 9-month period. Alright, his special reduces slashers and cooldowns by slashers and shooter cooldown by 1 turn, changes their slot into matching, boosts color affinity by 1.75, heals 6 times recovery, and does 20 times of random damage in non-type damage to enemies. Okay, so they added the color affinity, which is kind of interesting. The cooldowns, I'm pretty sure he always... No, and they added cooldowns as well. Okay, that's really good, because that allows you to get the other one special ready if you are running 2 of them for whatever reason. So, That's actually really good. And on stage 2, he gives slashes and shooters cooldowns 2 turns. So that's really, really interesting. I do like that they've added cooldowns. You know me, I'm a bit of a slut for cooldowns, so... And color affinity actually makes his special a lot more usable, where you basically, in the past, you just used it for damage, and then just to get that higher captain multiplier. He's going to change all slots into block slots, including block slots into matching as well. That is really, really good. He got a really, really big upgrade. Like a really big upgrade. 2 times color affinity for slashes and shooters. So this is really good. They basically made Kizaru's special usable now. It was, like I said, it was never really usable in the past. You basically only ever used it when you were running him as a captain. And the only reason you use it is to get his higher captain multiplier. It used to literally just rotate slots and heal, and then do, like, heavy non-type damage. It was good for getting through barriers, and that was about it. But this guy has barrier pen, so it was kind of like, well, look, what's the point, Bando? So, getting cooldowns now, getting color affinity is great, and going through block orbs on a 12-turn cooldown is actually awesome. Like, that's really, really cool. The big downside for this Kizaru is my dumbass when was, like, leveling up. I have 2 Kizarus, one non-evolved, one evolved, and I've just wasted copies of Kizaru, so it's going to take me a while for me to get to this guy up to that special, but look. It is what it is. Let's see if he's Rumble changed. He targets 4 enemies for 1 times his attack. Targets slashes and shooter teammates for level 8 attack up. I think that was sort of the same. Let's see if it actually got a buff. And then his passive gives level 7 speed up for shooters and slashes. And for the first 40 seconds, he gives special cooldown level 4 for slashes and shooters as well. That has gone up by 1 speed, and the cooldown has stayed the same, but instead of 30 seconds, it's 40 seconds. So it's a bit of a buff there for his Rumble. And then his special doesn't seem to have changed. Oh, it's gone up by 1. It's gone up by 1. So it gives level 8 attack instead of level 7. So slashes are still pretty good. So Kizaru still holds his own if you are running a slasher team, especially with something like Wodger. Wodger actually, like, double buffs this guy. So that's actually pretty nice. So, Kizaru, I'm honestly really impressed with all these level limit break expansions, like, right now. Like, these characters are actually fairly decent. Like, I'm actually pretty happy with these guys. On to Kuzan now. Now, I've actually had a bit of a squiz at Kuzan. Shout out to my boy Tony. He did post them when I was streaming yesterday. And Kuzan, for me, is the biggest buff. And we'll talk about it once we get to his special. I'm really excited for this guy because I actually almost have him maxed. So I'm actually excited for this because his buff is something that Quick don't have. So, his captain ability is up. Where is it? Where is it? Here. For some reason, the pictures and they're not in the correct order. But, look, it is what it is. So, alright, alcogee. Reduces his own cooldown by 3 turns at the start of the quest. Reduces Crew's cooldown by 1. Boosts Crew's attack by 4.25 and HP by 1.25. And then will further boost their attack depending on how many enemies were defeated in the previous turn. It can stack up to 5 times if you defeat enemies in 5 straight turns. So basically you start at 5.25. When you kill one enemy, it goes up to 4.5. Or maybe it goes up to like 4.6. Then it's, 4.4, and then it's like 4.5, 4.6, 4.7, 4.8. Okay, maybe it's not. Maybe it goes like 4.25, and then it goes up to like 4.3, then 4.5. Who knows? The increments, you get to the 5 times after you've, like, taken 5 straight turns, which is a bit annoying because, like, obviously, in content, if you're no stalling, you have to take, like, 4 turns, but nevertheless, like, you can definitely, like, kill a unit and then have, like, something else on a 2-turn cooldown and then just kill that next turn, and you can easily get, this. Like, this is not hard to get because 5 straight turns is really not that challenging, and then it's a 5 times captain for literally your entire crew. Like, that's actually so good. And that's not with Limit Break Plus, by the way. Like, 5 times Rainbow Captain, just by doing this, is really good. And obviously, because you need to, like, stall for specials, you can easily just kill something with Natural Stall every single turn. And then, because he gives cooldowns, if you're running 2 of them, he gets his own cooldowns, by the way, by 3 turns. So, that's really good. And at the start of Battle 3, he boosts Crew's attack by and orbs by 1.75 for 2 turns. So basically, once you get to the mini-boss, which is usually where you'll struggle if you don't have cooldowns, he just gives you an orb boost and an attack boost for 2 turns. What? That's disgusting. Now, that's without Limit Break Plus, right? Let's have a look at what with Limit Break Plus. Still reduces his own cooldown by 3 turns. Still gives the crew 1 turn of cooldown. Starts at 4.5, goes up to 1.35 HP. Remember, this is Rainbow. Like, that's a Rainbow buff. Boosts the crew's attack further if enemies were defeated in the previous turn, up to 5.25 now. And at the start of Battle 3, he's going to double. My god, man. That's so gross. That's so good. Don't get me wrong, like, you could easily run just Wodger, because he's a striker unit, right? Like, this guy is a striker. You could easily, and he's Rainbow Captain, you could easily run Whitebeard and Roger on the team and just get the switch ability and just make this ridiculous. But at that point, like, why aren't you using Whitebeard and Roger as your captain, right? But, like, as a Rainbow Captain, this is so good. Honestly, I would not hold it against anyone for Limit Break Plus in this unit. This is so good. And you only need one of them, because, like, you could easily hybrid this guy up. He's a striker and a shooter, right? So, like, you could hybrid him up with Wodger if you don't have Wodger. You could hybrid him up with Kaido. Kaido's a striker. The only downside to, obviously, these units is they don't have super classes, super types, all that shenanigans. But that's, like, honestly, this is honestly the best captain we've seen today. By far. Like, by far. Wow, I really like that. His special extends attack and orb boost specials by 1 turn as well. So you can turn this into 3 turns. I totally forgot about that. Holy shit. You can extend that because you get so many fucking cooldowns with this guy. Oh, I love this Kuzan. Bandai, bravo. V2 Kuzan got replaced, boys. Holy shit. Extends the crew and orb bust by 1 turn, so that becomes 3 turns. That's so good. I love that they've done this. And then this is the big one. Sets the chain boundary from 2.75 up to 35 times for 1 turn, and deals 1 million damage, ignoring all defensive effects. Now, this is good for, like, wave clearing enemies on stage 3 or whatever, but this is the big one. Sets the chain boundary at 2.75 to 35 times for 1 turn, is massive, because Quick does not have a single... Let me repeat that. They do not have a single chain boundary unit. Kuzan is the first chain boundary quick unit in the game. So this is valuable as fuck. Not only that, but he's a Rainbow 5.25 times captain, which is very easy to get, and he just gives you a 2 times orb boost and attack boost for basically 3 turns on stage 3. You can bet your ass if you get this and then you use this, you're killing stage 3. And then you've got 5 other specials ready to go for stage 4 and stage 5. So you just got to bring some utility. Oh, that's so good. That's your damage. Like, that's your damage for stage 3. And then you carry this into stage 4, and then all you need to do is bring utility, provided they don't wipe away buffs. If they wipe away buffs, it kind of sucks, but, like, still, I love the synergy between his special and his captain ability. I love it. Even this is just good. Like, even the 1.75 is good. His Sailor ability additions, I don't think he got any Sailor ability additions, but he was actually fairly decent in Rumble too back in the day. So let's see if his Rumble got a buff. Targets enemies in a large range for 2,500, 85% chance of action blinding for 5 seconds, and then targets shooter, class, allies for attack up level 5, speed up level 5. So they basically just added the last line. Targets shooters, allies for attack up and speed up. Everything else is exactly the same. His ability is going to give HP up level 5, speed up level 5 for shooters, and when this character deals a critical hit, applies level attack up level 7 to the crew up to 2 times. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Basically, the crit thing stayed the same, actually. That never changed. However, applying HP and speed up for shooters is really good. Level 5 is really, really good. Now, don't get me wrong, shooters aren't amazing, but, like, this guy is definitely a shoo-in on that shooter team now, so that's really interesting. I really, really, if you guys can't tell, I really, really, really like this, Kuzan. I think he's by far the best one we've read today. However, all of these characters have got significant buffs, and I'm pretty happy with all of them so far. The last character to talk about is the big dog himself, the Magma Man, V1 Akainu. V1 Akainu used to rule the roost. This guy was an absolute demon when he first came out, and he was a demon for so long. He still kind of is, to be honest. Mono Strength is still very, very good. Powerhouse is very, very good. Driven's very, very good. He still has a crazy support. And honestly, I still really like using this guy. Like, he was the last legend I needed at one point to, like, complete all legends tag. And when I finally got him, it was kind of too late, but I just still loved using him anyway. So he holds a little bit of a soft spot in my heart. But let's take a look at what he actually does. He boosts strength characters' attack by 4.5, 5 times if they have a strength orb. Boosts all other characters by 3.5, so technically a rainbow captain, but like 3.5 is really low. Boosts the crew's chance of landing on a strength orb, and if this character taps with a strength orb, applies a 1.5 times color affinity boost for strength characters for 1 turn. What the hell? What the... Okay, this guy is just going to melt Dex bosses, like mini bosses, like... Holy shit. 5 times if you have an orb, and then if you hit with this character in a strength orb, you get a 1.5 times color affinity boost. Granted, it's only for strength characters, but like that's where you're mainly using this guy, right? He doesn't get a buff to his Limit Break with his Limit Break Plus. So, obviously, don't Limit Break Plus this guy. His captain ability is going to stay the same. So, it's kind of good, though. Like, it's just very strong. It's a very strong, mono-based strength captain. Obviously, like, I don't know if I would replace him with something like a super type, but you could definitely hybrid this guy up and do some pretty cool shenanigans with this particular unit. His special deals 200 times his attack in non-type damage to all enemies, changes all orbs, including block orbs, to strength, and boosts strength characters' attack by 2.5 for 1 turn. If the crew has an attack up when the special is launched, he boosts the attack by 0.3 times. So, honestly, Akainu kind of got the short end of the stick just reading this. There's nothing here that really jumps out of the page and, like, smacks me in the face like Kuzan did. But this is a cool, interesting mechanic. I do like that they've added this. Attacking with the strength orb, getting the color affinity buff just means more damage. Because that's what Akainu is built around. He's just around building, like, a fucking Oonga Boonga strength team and just melting units. His Pirate Rumble was never really that desired. He was sort of always just used off the bench. But let's see if he did get a bit of a buff there. His special is going to do large ranged 1,500 damage. And if there's less than 50 seconds, he does an additional 2,000 damage. And when there's less than 30 seconds, he does an extra 3,500. So you can use this guy as a bench unit, but a 35-second cooldown can be pretty iffy. But if you're missing something like Kid, he's definitely an option for a strength team. Applies level 7 HP, level attack level 7 to strength characters, and when there is less than 30 seconds, he gives him strength characters a level 3 attack buff. So the damage numbers just got drastically increased. It was 1150, 1900, and 3150, so the damage numbers have gone up massively for his special, and his cooldown went down by 1 second, so that's kind of interesting. And then his ability basically just got increased by level 1. And he also adds HP now, from what I can see. He never used to add the HP, it was only just attack. So, level 7 HP is good. So, like, he's usable now, but he's nothing that I would really slide into the mono strength team. But there you guys go. That is all of the level limit break pluses that we are getting. Next batch. For me, this guy comes out on top as the best of the level limit breaks. If you have this guy max, be very excited, because that chain boundary is going to be so good. But honestly, besides maybe Akainu, I'm fairly impressed with all of these characters. I think Kizaru got a very good buff, something that he can now be used, is the big thing. I don't think he's game-breaking, but his buff compared to his previous self is so drastic. Fuji rotating block orbs and a 3.5 times chain for 3 turns now is actually so ridiculously helpful. And with Law, the additional damage debuff is actually pretty nice as well. So let me know your thoughts and opinions on these characters. Let me know who your favorite is down in the comment section as well. While you're down there, don't forget to belt the like button. If you're new, hit that big red subscribe button. But guys, wherever you are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, I thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Let's